Okay. Guys, today's session will be on element locators with example. So here, let me open the Python first. For this, I need to create one new file, Python file. Let me name this as locators.py. So here, first I need to import the Selenium. From Selenium, import WebDriver. Then once the WebDriver is imported, we need to initialize the WebDriver. For this, I'll create a variable driver WebDriver dot from. So this is the here I have initialized the WebDriver. Now I need to open a web page. For this, driver dot get method. I'll use the get method, and here I'm gonna pass my URL as an argument. So let me remove this. Copy. Here I'll paste. So here we have access. Yes, we have just open up the web page with the following URL, and we need to find the element by its ID. For this, I'll create one more variable ID element. If you want, you can create as per your requirement, name it, and by its ID. And here you need to pass that value. So let me. Does this have it has ID? Yes, it has ID. Okay. So if you inspect this, this is the one. It has ID. So this is the ID. Copy this. Okay, it has ID and class also. Okay. As of now, we are going with the ID. Yeah. So I'll paste it over here. So here ID is we have accessed that particular element. Once we accessed, we need to perform the click. So when I click on something, let's say I'm on some other page. When I click on this home page, it needs to come to the home page of Amazon. That's my first operation. So the first thing which I have access to the ID, now I need to perform the action on that element. That element, what is that element? ID underscore element dot click method. We have a click method in Selenium. So here this click method will perform the action on this element. Once it is done, let's say I will close my browser. Driver dot for closing a browser. I'm not talking about the tab. Yeah. I want to close entire browser. For this, I have a method quit method. So let me run this. Run the locators. Definitely we'll get a few errors because by was not defined. So it says error. There is one error. So what is it? By is. So let me check. By it's not defined. See one error. What is that error? Unresolved reference by this one. Okay, fine then. Exactly. So now we will define this. How? From Selenium dot WebDriver dot common. So it's launching. See, it needs to click on the Amazon.in. By default, it has taken, guys. Automatically, it has taken. Then once it is loaded, this will by is not defined. What it says by is Yes, what it says, by is not defined. We need to define the by. By import capital by. That's it. Let me rerun this. So let's see how it works. So accessing the URL, then clicking on the Amazon.in. I just think so much of it. So it clicked on the Amazon button. That's the reason it is loading. So once it is done, it will returns the code, exit code with 0. Okay. So this is how you can access an element by its ID. So ID is done. Next one, ID is done. Okay, it is done. Okay, next one will be name. So here again same URL but different. Okay, now I'll go with name element. Yes, driver dot find element by its name and that value. So let me open up the. Let's look for an element which will have the name attribute. Reference, we have class data ID but not the name. Don't have name here. Mm, Again, fine. Go with this reference class ID. No, this also doesn't have name, and we are looking for the name attribute. Okay, no problem. We'll go with Google. Sorry, google.com. So here we have google.com. So this is the URL. Again, I am passing the URL here. Okay. For this, again, I need to call the get method. So once it is done, I'll go with driver dot get method and yes, google.com. So here I'm gonna search it by using its name. So do we have name here? Let me inspect this. ID. See, we have name here. Name attribute. That is Q. Okay. Copy this, paste it into your code. Q. So it should rather than taking this, we'll go with something else. Hmm. Does this has label data h reference target? No, it doesn't have. This also, because to know the user that it is got clicked, it got clicked. Class label, no, this also doesn't have. Does this have value name? Yes. Okay. Button K. So this is the one. So let me copy this and let me paste it here. Okay, and let me pass some value to the text box. Okay, uh, yes, we can use. Otherwise, let it be for this namesake. We don't need this. Once it is done, we need to go with name dot element dot click. So click option will be performed. So let me run this. First, it has to open the Amazon. Then, so okay, there is an error because Amazon.in. Let me run this. Let me comment these first. So I have commented that. So now this part only gets executed. First, it needs to launch the browser, pass the URL. It should click on a Google search. It says name underscore click. Execute command only. Execute command. Exception element not iteratable. Okay, fine then. Which means this name button is not clickable. Dot click once it is perfect. Run this. Here we don't need to pass. It needs to click here. That is option. We need just a click option. No need of instructions. Okay. First name. No, don't have this. For this, do we have? Yeah, I'll apply for that. Hmm. Let me try with some other. Is it clickable or not? So then we'll troubleshoot whether it has problem with the browser or problem with the link. So it is not if it is not a clickable element, that it will throw an exception because the search box is not a clickable one, but it got clicked now. So it got clicked. So here we'll send the values. Send keys, whatever the value you want. Mm, Q is a text box. Mm. Send keys. Q is the name locator. Mm. Let's say yes, name of that search box. Now we are sending ABCD. Once we send this, it needs to click what? Not this name element. We need to again get the get what? This one. Google search. Okay, Google search. We need to inspect this. Yes, yes, yes. I know, I know. So now we'll take this copy. After sending the value, it needs to click Google search. So we have passed the value. Once the value is passed, so we need to click on Google search, right? Google. Yes, yes. It needs to search. search element by uh, what we have name, right? Same name thing. So this is the value, and this Google search should be clickable. It should click the Google search dot name element which was not used. Okay. So what will happen here? It will sense the ABCD, then it will click the Google search button. That's our activity. See, ABCD got passed to the text field. Then after search, once it is, the result should be displayed. For this, I'll add the time dot sleep for 5 seconds. So let me rename this. When the search result should be visible to the user. Not able to see screen. Why I'm presenting? Still I'm presenting. Okay. Okay. Actually, the okay. Let me rerun this because you guys haven't seen. So pass in the values, whatever the text you have given, ABCD. Then click the search. So it has given you the list of search results for the 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, we are calling driver dot quit method, right? So how many types of locators we have finished? Two. Now we'll go with the X part. Okay. Let me comment this. Okay. Let me comment this. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. For this element, we haven't performing because they, for the search bar there is no click button, right? Do we have any click button for search? No, right? Let's say ABCD. I have passed the value ABCD. If I click here, will that affect anything? Nothing, right? After passing the value, it should click this button. Yeah, yeah. You even you can do that also. After send keys, there is one more method, keys dot return. That's a direct keyword which will simulates the pressing the enter key. Okay, that's the method you have. Keys dot return return. Yeah. So here we are pressing the button instead of pressing the button for the same element name underscore. Okay, this is the result which you have. This is the thing. Next, we need to send the element dot send keys. In send keys, we need to send the keys dot return. So says, okay, let me run this. We'll get one error. We are just simulating the enter. We are not clicking the Google search button. Just after passing the text to this search box, it will simulate the simulate as we are hitting the enter button. ABCD enter. But what it says, hmm, send keys, send keys. Yes, exactly. Because here send keys, you need to import the method. Okay, for this you need to import the keys method. How do you do this? Here, by here you need to import from the Selenium. From Selenium WebDriver, you need to import that from the common dot keys. You have the keys module. In this you need to import this keys. Now we'll rerun this program. See, it will take the value, that is, sorry, text ABCD. Then it will simulate as we are hitting the interval. It says object has no attribute. So object main element. Search this ABCD. Okay. We're passing. Okay, we are just passing the text there. Okay, we are sending the text. Let's say name element. Okay, we are passing the value and we are storing it to name element. Now we need to input a search query. Mm, So, okay, okay. This here we have just taken the click element. Now we'll go with some search text as I'll go with search text and I'll send keys that value. So A B C D is the value which I am passing. Okay. Both are same. Name element, send keys. I'm sending the simulating the enter. Okay, we run this one. ABCD passing the text and it will display the results which the text which we have passed. Okay, anything else, guys? Any doubts? So here we are not pressing any Google search button or any clickable method. We are here directly. We are calling, we are sending the text to the search box and we are simulating that search box with a return keyword. Simulates means virtually. Okay, without pressing any button on the console. Are we clear? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. So let me comment this. Next thing is mm, XPath. We'll take the XPath. In Google search, let's continue this. One second. Let's continue with the same example. So after pressing, you got few results got displayed, right? What are those results? ABCD. Okay. What are those? So I want to click this. Let's say not this one, not this one. I want to click this ABCD alphabet. Okay. For this, I need to. This is the result which I want. Okay. After clicking that button. Okay. For this, I need to take the inspect. After this, I'll go with copy XPath. So right click on that, then just click on copy, then go to copy XPath. Let yeah. Now after getting the results, we need to send the same element. This is XPath, right? XPath element is equals to driver dot find element by XPath. What is that XPath value? The XPath value is this is the one. So after getting this XPath, I want to click on that. I want to perform click action dot click. Once got clicked, it will shows the results. So one second. Why so many spaces? Oh, did spark what it says invalid symbol. We forgot a comma where. Yeah. So for while you're working with the XPath, they don't have double quotes. Just keep that in mind. Okay. Let me run this. So it needs to open up the browser, then pass the URL. Then once it is done, it will search the simulates the enter. Then it will show up the results. Then in the results, it will click on one result. So it needs to go back where very bottom. Maybe it is taking time. Maybe we can expect a timeout. Let's see whether the timeout will happen or not. It is taking more time than usual. Why it is taking so much of time? It needs to click the ABCD alphabet. See, this is a result which we wanted, right? So now the code will exit with 0. Let's see. So this page contains lots of videos. That's the reason it is taking maybe this. For the next time, we will go with some minimal page, which will have less memory. So at last, the page got loaded. See here, it will give you an exit code. Okay, so this is about XPath. Then what about the next thing? CSS selector. You can go with the CSS selector also. So for the same thing, let me see whether do we have any CSS selector for the element or not. ABCD. Okay, same results. For the same element, do we have any CSS selector? Mm, okay, copy CSS selector. Copy CSS selector. Let me replace this with that text. I pasted it. Let me run this. Oh, we haven't changed the thing actually. This won't displays, but we don't get the result now because we haven't changed in the script. The we should modify the type of locator. Find element by CSS selector. We need to change it. But in most of the times we don't use all this. Mostly we'll go with IDs, names, class, and then uh, XPath, and that's all. That's all. ID name, because see here we haven't changed. Still it is in XPath, right? So we need to change it to CSS selector. Now it will. You need to you need to copy for relevant XPath. You need to create it. How to create a relevant XPath? I'll tell you. Mm, yes, absolute and relevant. There is a syntax for relevant to write a relevant relative XPath. Okay, mostly important. That's the most important thing, which will relevant XPath, relative, or you go with the relative XPath expression to locate a specific element on a web page. For this, I'll show you. See, you got the results, I guess. Still, you haven't gone there. See, you got the results, right? So this is how uh, the CSS selector will work. So same thing, guys. Do you want me to go through the rest of the things? Because the most important thing is how do you write relative XPath? That's the first major thing for a automation developer. Shall we go through that concept once? Because the same thing, guys, in place of XPath, in place of CSS selector, you're gonna have a class, you're gonna have a link test, or you'll have a partial link test. Same thing, won't change. Just you need to right click on that particular element. You need to you need to one second. You need to copy that particular element with the select CSS selector, XPath, full XPath, and all those things. Okay, so it's just the same thing. And for this, we have so many extensions available in the market. You can use those. See, it had the code has exited with the 0. So now I will show you how do we, in place of XPath, guys, in place of XPath, we got CSS selector. In place of CSS selector, you'll have class name, then link text, then next partial text, next tag name, next accessibility ID. Same thing. Okay. This is the homework for you guys. You need to work out the rest of the four actually. Okay. And by keeping that aside, I'll show you how to write relative XPath syntax. How the syntax looks like: double slash input square braces. Here you will have at id is equals to any value. Okay, this is how you need to write the customized relative XPath to any element if the element is not visible. So generally how the things works in the sense here, input element with id attribute set to the customized value. So here example, I'll go with double slash input anything. If you want, you can give any value here. Okay, anchor. Yes, while you are searching for that particular element, you need to pass the that specific value there. Okay, in place of value, let me go with some username as my value, which is stored in that id. This is how you need to write your relative XPath. Okay, rather than doing, sorry. Yes, it is an attribute. ID is an attribute which is set to the username. You have the username value, right? For this, ID is the attribute value. Okay. So it is totally depend upon the HTML structure of the web page, and utilizing techniques and attributes, you can write relative or relevant XPath expressions to accurately locate the element for your automation task. Okay. For every element, you can write a relative XPath. Any element in the web page. Mm, mm, mm. You have so many third-party applications, extensions for the browser. Okay, you have CSS selector, you have TruePath, CrowPath, Selectors Hub. There are so many extensions are available in the market. Mm. See, okay, that you don't know. Huh? Okay, fine. See, let's say this is the element. Okay, here we got what styles for this particular element. This search box. Okay, this search box, this is the anchor tag a. Okay, okay, with the h reference, it has class and all, right? You have styles, computed, layout, event listeners, and dom, data object model breakpoints, and properties. Here if you press on this arrow, you get accessibility and services, right? Here, you will get one more option if the extension is installed to your browser. Let's say selectors hub. Okay, this selectors hub will be selected. Now I have selected styles, right? For that time, the selectors hub will be selected over here. And for this particular element in the search box, you will get the relative XPath. And here in this list here, instead of this element style and all these things, html colon not, instead of this text you will have the relative xpath, full xpath, id, name, class name of this particular element listed over here. You can copy the value from here and you can use that value into your script over here. Yes. Yeah, if they are not anchored properly, if they are not structured properly in your web page, let's say this element is not properly structured, which doesn't have proper labels, proper tags, or proper structure, proper divisions, okay, for this page, if they don't have proper ids, proper classes, proper names, in such situations you'll go with the third party extensions which will give you the uh, relevant XPath or IDs and names. Okay, even if the web page is hiding some content from the user, that time also, that in such kind of situations, those third party extensions will help you to get that element from the web page. Yeah, anything else, guys? If we do not have any doubts, that's all for today, guys. Thank you.